And our Game Night Monday continues with the second of our doubleheader in Portland as the Blazers host the Nets. And as promised, our Jared Greenberg is standing by. JG, thanks for taking the time. First and foremost, I want to ask you about Cj McCollum, who's reportedly out for a fourth consecutive game with this left knee injury. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, we knew yesterday, Kristen, that CJ would miss tonight's game against the Nets, which we'll show you in a few minutes here on NBA TV. But we've also learned that CJ will be out for at least the next 4 games, taking him through the entire Portland East Coast road trip. I spoke to Damian Lillard earlier tonight about what it means to miss the team's second leading scorer.
I mean, it's tough news, but, you know, when we saw how serious the injury was and that he was going to miss time, you know, amongst ourselves, we already knew that guys would have to step up, and it would have to be a job done by committee. You know, in these last few games, guys have done that. So we're going to have to continue to do that because it's more important for us for him to be healthy and for him to be right than for us to try to rush him back sooner than he needs to be. You know, I think the style of play that we're having right now is working for us. It's something that we can sustain, especially until he's healthy enough to come back. So we got to live with it. We got to keep doing what we've been doing the past few games.
Well, speaking of that, during this 3-game win streak without CJ, your assist numbers have really gone up. What is it about without CJ on the court, you trying to get other guys involved, has led to those numbers?
I think I'm playing the same way that I always play, just naturally trying to make the right plays. But with CJ being out, the ball is in my hand more than it usually is because I'm trying to, you know, keep that balance of allowing him to make plays and, you know, score because that's what he does so well. So I just had it in my hands more. Obviously, with him out, team's going to give me more attention, so it's going to be more plays there to be made. And I just been taking what's there, so that's led to more assists.
I know you've never been shy about your confidence level, but when we look towards the playoffs and an opportunity tonight to clinch that playoff spot, how important is it for you guys, the matchup, who you play in the first round?
I think that's always important. You can be a number 1 seed and match up against a really tough 8 seed, and that not be the matchup you want, or for any 2-7, 3-6, whatever it is. Obviously we're excited about the opportunity to get our playoff spot tonight. But the matchup does matter. You want to, if you can control it and you can be in position, you want to be in a good position, for that first round. So we're looking at it, but a lot of teams don't have the opportunity to even be there. So, whoever we draw is who we draw.
Is there anything, though, that you would ever do in terms of trying to get a more favorable matchup?
I mean, I think the only thing that you could do is lose games. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, we go out there to win games, and we're going to win, but we can't control what happens with other teams. So after that, the only thing you could do is maybe lose games to drop based on what else is happening, and we'll never do that.
Dame, good luck tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
That was Damian Lillard earlier tonight. Let me go back to our top story again. The Blazers announcing that Cj McCollum will be out for at least 5 more games if you include tonight's game against the Nets. But Terry Stotts was optimistic, saying that the knee sprain is progressing. And again, the team's won 3 straight without CJ in the lineup. They have gone with Jake Layman in the starting lineup the last few. We are still waiting to see what official lineup that Terry Stotts will submit for tonight's game. Kristen.
And Jared, you talked to Damian a lot about potential playoff matchups, but with a team that's won 6 of their last 7, and as you mentioned, 3 without Cj McCollum in the lineup, what does it say about this team's playoff readiness at this point?
Well, listen, I think Damon is, we were just talking about, is not shy about understanding and having awareness of this team's shortcomings in the postseason. And their goal is not to have regular season success. You heard what he said to me just a couple of moments ago. They're looking to make a deep run, and for this team to get the quote-unquote respect that they believe they deserve, they know they can't get swept in the first round of the playoffs like they did last year against the Pelicans.
Jared, with Portland running into the injury situation with CJ, it also highlights some of Brooklyn's issues that they've had in the second half of the season. What did you find out in talking to Coach Atkinson about what they may do to change their lineup as they've reintegrated pieces that have come and gone into their lineup?
Yeah, Griff, it's been really interesting to see, and it's been a good problem to have for the Nets to get guys who have put up big numbers earlier in the season back into the lineup. But it appears for the second straight game, Coach Atkinson is going to go with a lineup that features DeMarre Carroll in the starting 5 and has Karis LeVert coming off the bench. This is a twofold move here by Coach Atkinson. Number one, you get DeMarre Carroll to help spread the floor for a couple of more guys on the court, but also it gives Karis LeVert a little bit more of an opportunity with the second team to run that unit, and I think we can watch for a lot more success, or at least that's the hope from the Nets' perspective as to why you move LeVert out of the starting lineup and get him back maybe to that form he was playing before he dislocated his ankle earlier this season.
That'll be interesting, actually, taking somebody who can score like Karis and putting him on the bench. They're already the second highest scoring bench team in the league, so that'll be an interesting change. Relative to Portland, one of the reasons they seem able to absorb Cj McCollum's injury is the acquisition of Rodney Hood, but also the play of Steph Curry. What are you hearing about their expectation of how they'll split up those minutes?
Well, I tell you what, Seth Curry has been playing outstanding basketball, and I'm curious to see. I know Coach Stotts is someone who likes to keep his bench unit intact the way it is. He doesn't want to switch up those rotations, which is why I understand that Jake Layman has gotten the start the last couple of games, but Layman only played 13 minutes in Portland's win over Detroit the other night. Listen, I know Coach Stotts doesn't like to get away from the way he likes to use his bench, but it's almost getting to the point where it might be difficult to keep Seth Curry out of the starting lineup moving forward.
Jared, thanks for the great work as always. Have fun in Portland. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, guys. Thanks.